the positions, the titles. She's been in, had made great impact on a lot of the different committees and things. I think this touch that she has is magical, and I've always appreciated her for it. I thank you, Elaine, for the encouragement many years ago, and I can only imagine the positive effect you've had on thousands of other young students throughout your career. I thank you to your service to Caldwell County, to the college, and workforce development. But most of all, I thank you for your continued support, innovative ideas, and friendship. You are the real deal. Because of your dedication of improving the lives of your students and your lifelong devotion to the Caldwell Community College and Technical Institute and your commitment to workforce development, it is my honor to recognize Ms. Elaine Lockhart as the 2017 Herman Anderson Award recipient.
Thank you, Marty. I had no idea I did that. That is the truth. I do, however, remember working with your daughter when she came to Caldwell, and she was the one who nominated me to be in the Honor Society at the college, and I'll always remember her for that, so be sure and tell her that. But I do thank you for all your kind words. Before I get started, I want to introduce some of my favorite people and some people that are here to support me today. I have with me today my husband, Steve Lockhart, who spent over 40 years in the furniture industry in both manufacturing and now in sales. I have my mother, Marie Hartley, who was born and raised and also has lived in Caldwell County all of her life, and she worked at Broyhill Furniture Industries for 47 years. My father passed away about a year and a half ago, and he was a state employee, and had he not had a heart attack, he would have stayed longer, but he was there for almost 40 years. And he always told me I could never leave state employment, so that's why I have the longevity that I have. I also have with me today a very special person, my granddaughter, Samantha Stone, and she is a senior at South Caldwell High School and will be going to college next year. My daughter and son-in-law, Heather and Jimmy, were supposed to be with me today, but their work commitments precluded them from doing that. They couldn't get out of it, so Samantha helped me out there. And I do have a grandson who just turned 21. He is a junior in college, and so he couldn't be with us today. So we're small, but we're strong. And thank you guys for being here with me today. As Bob was saying earlier, and Bob, I am so in awe of all the things that you've done for Caldwell County. We consistently see things that your hand is on, and we appreciate that very much. I was born in Caldwell County. I grew up in Caldwell County and was educated in Caldwell County, Steve Stone. And I have worked my entire life in Caldwell County, at Caldwell Community College and Technical Institute. So I am a native, and I plan, like Bob, to do everything I can to be a supporter of Caldwell County for as long as I'm on this earth. And I've been very blessed. There's a few people that I have to thank first of all, and that one group is the Caldwell County Commissioners. If you had not had somebody, I think, let's see, where's Larry Taylor? I think he was the first one to twist your arm in terms of appointing me to the EDC board. But I was lucky enough and blessed enough to be appointed on several occasions. So I have some years with the Economic Development Commission here in Caldwell County, and had it not been for you being willing, the current county commissioners and those that came before, to appoint me to this position, I would never have had this opportunity. I also want to thank the board of directors for the EDC. Many of you are here today and you're in other capacities and not serving on the board, like I am not serving on it currently, but we still are active and are a part of everything we can get somebody to listen to us about economic development in Caldwell County. And the people that you should be most proud of and that you should be most grateful for are the EDC staff. We have some superb leadership, and we have a cast of support players that is second to none. So I just want to thank Deborah Murray. I want to thank Bobby White. I want to thank Paul Teague and Don Weiss for all that you do for Caldwell County. As I was thinking about this, and thankfully this was not a surprise, I would have had a heart attack and died on you today. But I've been involved in economic development my entire career. We didn't call it that in the early 70s, but I've come to realize that's exactly what it was. And I've had this dream career. Dr. Porch, our president, is just now coming on the scene, and he's not been there as long as I have been, but I have had a truly dream career. I cannot think of anything that I would have changed about my entire career. And as I reflect on the past 40 years, I realized that I had spent my time at the college as an entrepreneur of sorts. I've always wanted to be an entrepreneur. And my husband has this bug too, so we have lots of conversations about this. And I didn't realize that, in a way, I have been an entrepreneur all my life. Of course, I don't own the business, and I don't have the funds to take those risks. But Caldwell Community College and Technical Institute did give me that. The administration gave me a lot of rope. I hung myself a few times. But they allowed me to take risk, to chase my dreams, and to open up opportunities for me, and I will never forget that. As a result, I've had an opportunity to research, to plan, design, implement, as well as to serve and support business and industry and agencies in Caldwell County and in all areas of economic development. I have partnered with most everyone in this room. There's some new young people that I haven't met yet, but most everybody in here at one time or another, our paths have crossed. And maybe you're like me with Marty. I remember you, maybe you don't remember me, but I have crossed paths with almost everybody in this room. And you know, without our businesses, industries, and our agencies, you're the key factor, you're the driving force. I've said this all of my life, and Bob said it earlier. If it were not for you and what you do, then there would be no reason for us. There would be no reason for economic development. There'd be no reason for us to be involved in this. So you've made Caldwell County a great place to live and to work and to serve others. So I want to thank all the business and industry and agency partners that are represented here today. You know, you're the reason. But another group, and especially that I'd like to thank, of course, is the college, the administration of the college. But there's a specific special group with us today, and I think there's 4 or 5 of this particular group here. And this is our continuing education and workforce development team. We do work as a team. We work together on everything. We have some highly qualified, skilled, passionate, hardworking people. And those are, I'd just like for those people that work at the college in continuing education, workforce development, and our administration to please stand from the college. I kind of equate us to the NFL. Surprises you, doesn't it, Steve? In my retirement, he's made me watch a lot of sports. So this is my analogy for today. You know, with an NFL team, you have, of course, the owner. We'll say that's Bob. And on the football, you have a coach or coaches. We'll say Rick's the coach over here. And then you have cheerleaders. Everybody has cheerleaders. So I equate our continuing education and workforce development team as the cheerleaders. We're out there, we're fighting for you, we're marketing, we're yelling, we're screaming, we're jumping up and down, we're doing whatever it takes to get what you need. Working together with this team of individuals has been, we've been able to accomplish great things. We've had great opportunities and we've had great outcomes. And it is just as was said earlier, it's all about relationships. How many times have I said that? It's kind of a motto. It's all about relationships. It's all about how you treat people. It's all about your attitude and how you do that. I look forward to the many opportunities for future growth and development with great confidence and great excitement. I've had the privilege of meeting Mr. Herman Anderson in the past and on several occasions, and I am honored to be listed with the previous recipients of this award. I do not deserve this award, but I am humbled and I am delighted to share it with all of you. It's been an honor and a privilege to serve you. Together, we make things better for everyone. I must end with Dawn's famous last words. It is a great day to do business in Caldwell County. Thank you.
One more presentation, and then we'll run through our class of 2017. But I'd like to welcome to the podium the County Commission Chairman, Mr. Randy Church, one of my bosses. Thank you,
I hear you. Well, it's a hard act to follow all these folks that have came up, and as often happens, Deborah asked me about the opportunity to speak here this afternoon, and some of my thunder has been stolen, but I'll just go along with it, okay? But I did want to take an opportunity to thank everyone who's in this room for being here at this EDC luncheon. I recognize that it is a distinguished group, and it's one that I wanted to be a part of many years ago. I've attended 6 of these as of this particular one, and I think this is the first time Deborah's asked me to speak at one. I did get the opportunity to pray a while ago, but I do want to thank you, Deborah, for allowing me the chance to stand and to thank each and every one in this room for the things you do for Caldwell County. Because as it's already been said, without you as your business partners and the things that goes along, we would not be able to accomplish the things and the great successes that we have seen in Caldwell County. I want to thank the EDC board, the EDC staff, as has already been mentioned, but Deborah and Dawn and certainly Bobby and Paul. You are a great group of folks, and anytime I call and ask anything, I can get an answer pretty quickly, and so I appreciate that. And I appreciate the leading effort that they have in bringing business and industry to our county, but also the business partners that are here in attendance, and of course my fellow commissioners that are here, and those that serve in our local governments around about in Caldwell County. We appreciate each and every one of you. A little history about myself, and I asked Deborah how long I had, and she told me I could speak for just a few minutes. And I think one of her hesitations in asking me to speak in the past is, you may have realized during my prayer, I'm also a Baptist minister and a politician, so you combine the two together and I can stand and speak for a good little bit. Every Sunday morning, about 45 minutes, and so I won't keep you that long today, I promise. But in 2007-8, there was an opportunity for me to run for office, and I was trying to run for the commission because our county was struggling, and there was some things that were happening within the county, and I wanted to be a part of trying to help bring that to fruition and help turn it around. And unsuccessfully, I ran in 2008, trying to get an opportunity to be a part of the EDC. But perseverance paid off, and I was able to win an election bid in 2012. And so that was my thought, was to be able to help my neighbor, my family, and the things that we were struggling through in Caldwell County. And there was many folks that were willing to step up and help, and many of you are here in this room today. And I see a lot of those faces that were here. But at the time, if you'll remember, we were in a slumping economy and hope seemed to be lost. Dreams had been dashed, and our neighbors were certainly suffering. Many had lost all hope. And that was a day that we well remember when those industrial jobs in the furniture and textile industry began to leave Lenoir and Caldwell County. People were depressed, and they were wondering what in the world we were going to do. But as Paul Harvey so eloquently said, here is the rest of the story today. There was a group of folks, and many of you are sitting here in this room today, that came together and fostered a desire, a vision, as you will, that it gave us a spark of hope. And I refer to that group often as the group 2020, and I know that many of you here, and it was facilitated through some of the community college efforts, and Doug Johnson and Blue Ridge Electric and many others. And I don't know all the names, but I know one thing that you did give us, and that was a vision. And because of your vision, it gave the people in Caldwell County who were in such despair and who were so depressed a hope. And in 2011, that group and the Caldwell County Commissioners at the time, under the leadership of Chairman Ben Griffin, hired a new EDC director and Deborah Murray, and a wonderful thing began to happen. And we look back in the 2006 time frame as we were looking at the partnerships that were being formed, and the North Carolina Rural Economic Development Division was a part of that. And we began to see a turnaround, and the people in our county began to see our economy looking up. And I wrote a note here, Marty, you'll enjoy. I was officially elected in 2012, all right? And an opportunity to be able to be a part of it. And so I say all this to say that it brings us to today, and we're here in honor of our recipients this year. And certainly the Industry of the Year with McCreary Modern, I want to say thank you. Thank you for what you've done for Caldwell County. I'm a Gamewell boy. I know you said that you'd never heard of Gamewell. And I grew up and lived in Gamewell, and I saw the Morganton chair plant there, and I saw the Kincaid furniture plant there sitting vacant and empty. And so I was very appreciative of the fact when McCreary Modern moved into the area and they moved into those buildings. And as Deborah's already said, the first recipient of the Rural Economic Development Building Reuse Grant was McCreary Modern in 2006. And then I want to thank Elaine Lockhart for the things that you've been to us and to me. I, like Marty, remember you from many years ago when I was just, I don't know, I was 17, 18 years old, I think, Elaine. And you were at the community college, and I was in the fire service, and we got all of our continuing education and the thing through the Caldwell Community College. And so she was a light for a lot of us wayward firefighters trying to learn how to fight fire and to do the things that we needed to be able to do. And so I appreciate you being there, and I appreciate your service. And by the way, I wanted to congratulate you on your retirement, but in this arena, you never get to retire. All right? We're going to rely on you and hope that you'll be a part of all of these things as we continue on in our board and the activities of the EDC. But our partner award, North Carolina Rural Economic Development Division, it's been a partnership with all of you folks here today, and we're calling out this one particular group because of the impact we've seen over the past 11 years with their involvement within the county. With over $6 million in grants, providing some 33 companies that have benefited in the resurgence of Caldwell County industry and job creation. And we've already mentioned McCreary Modern, who started with 40 employees, and they employ some 240 folks today in Caldwell County. But there's others that we don't want to take lightly, because we know that we've seen some building reuse grants that have helped those folks prosper. One of those is Excella. In 2008, they came to our county with no employees, and we got a building reuse grant for the Broyhill corporate office, and they employ some 255 people there today. Global Shippers renovated the former PB&J building. They had 3 jobs in 2009. They employ 25 today. Automated Solutions renovated the former Hamry building. They had 12 folks in 2010. Today they employ 61. ServPro had 3 in 2010. Today they are 48 strong. Wood Grain Millwork, a part that I had in 2012, renovated the former Blue Ridge tissue plant, and they came with nothing at that point, and they employ 154 folks today. Baker's Waste renovated one of the former Broyhill plants, 55 and 3 there. Had 82 folks that they came with in 2015, 162 on the payroll today. Seacon Metals had 13 in 2015, and they employ 43 today. So, with a $1.6 million local government investment, we had a pledge of over $35 million in new private investment that has resulted in over 545 new jobs that were announced, and it was all because of the partnership of the Building Reuse Grant. Our return on investment pledged has resulted in actually 1,026 jobs gained so far, and our tax base has increased by $43 million. And there's $63 million that's still to come. And so I give you all these numbers to say it is a very important program to Caldwell County. And I see now that the partnership that fostered 11 years ago has given Caldwell County a brighter future. And we know that that vision that was started in 2009 and beyond gave the residents a hope that we can now see our dreams are coming true in Caldwell County. I see a brighter future for my children, my grandchildren, to stay here and stay at this place that I call home, to live, work, and play in Caldwell County. And besides, I think it's the best place in the world to live. And I'll do to you what I do to my church folks. That deserves a woodpecker amen. That means nodding your head, right? And so our work is not finished. We moved from a Tier 1 to a Tier 2 county this past year, but we have more to do. And so I challenge you today to relish in your accomplishments and to beam with the excitement and the things that are looking up, and to keep that hope as we move forward. But we cannot stop now. Right, Mayor? We got to keep going. And we got to continue to work together and form additional partnerships that will build a great community. And I'll close with this thought. 2020's group was formed with that philosophy of getting to the year 2020. Well, that's just around the corner. Who would have ever thought just a few short years ago we'd be sitting here in 2018 this soon? Right, time's fast, and it's moving on. But let's continue the dreams and the hopes of our children, and let's continue to work together, putting aside all the barriers that folks seem to throw up that say we can't do that. And let's band together, forming additional partnerships, that those that we've built upon our successes over the past 11 years, we dream big. And I'll throw this in: if Amazon only knew what we had, they'd be here. So thank you again for this opportunity to brag a little upon our successes and to brag a little upon these folks from the North Carolina Rural Economic Development Commission. Our partner for 2017 has helped us to be able to do. And with that, I'll call up Melody Adams and Hazel Edmond and Kenny Flowers to receive this year's award for the 2017 partnership to the Caldwell EDC. All right, and we've got, you gonna do those?
We're going to give these to them so they don't get their fingerprints all over them. They can keep them wrapped. Thank you very much. Sure.
As I said earlier, I really have nothing to do with this. I've been here 2.5 months, so thank you. And I want to introduce, no, don't go away, no. I want to introduce Melody Adams and Hazel Edmonds, who have been just fierce fighters behind this program for a long time. So take it over.
All right, thank you, Kenny.
They were really trying to sneak off. Are you kidding?
Well, when you have a new boss, you sort of, need to understand what his thought process is. And if he wants to jump up and make remarks, you want to give him the opportunity to do so. But so glad to be here with you today. As Deborah mentioned, in 2008, when we were at the North Carolina Rural Center, Caldwell County was one of our first home away from home, really, to come up here and to work with you as a partner to really encapsulate what the program was designed for, which was to deal with the mass exodus of manufacturing jobs from North Carolina. And Caldwell County and this area was really some of the hardest hit. So to be able to come here and to put so many fantastic institutions, really, these buildings that we've been able to work with Deborah and her staff to put back into, just the economy and to put people back to work is really a tremendous feeling. And it's wonderful to be here and to work with Deborah and her team. And really, it's been mentioned here today, what a great staff. And that's true. And even throughout the municipalities of Hudson and Granite Falls, just tremendous partnership, and we're tickled to have been here. And thank you for the wonderful acknowledgement. But really, you all do the work, and we just bring what we can to the table to help you out. So we're tickled, and thank you for this great honor.
We are almost done. So I want Hazel and Melody and Kenny, if you would look back this way for just a moment. Had some folks saying, what do the blue dots mean on our name tags? The blue dots represent that you have had a building reuse grant. Would you please stand if you have a blue dot on your name tag? These are all the folks who benefited from your work.
Each year, we celebrate a new class. The companies with whom the EDC has worked that year, the industries announcing new locations and expansions. In appreciation of these industries and their commitment to growth and investment in Caldwell County, we want to introduce them to you and present them with a class of 2017 framed art designed especially for today. And I will ask you to please come forward when your name is called.
And we begin with AMP Services. And if you're with AMP Services, please stand where you are so we can recognize you.
Some aren't going to be here. So
Some aren't? Okay.
Go ahead and keep going.
Okay, we can do that. Let's see here. Sorry. JBS USA, Automated Solutions, Adhesion Biomedical. And as you folks come up, I will continue with the names and then we'll get the presentations going. Ryan Outdoor Systems, Bansal Global, Roblin,
Excello Pharma Sciences, Kendall Supply, Southern Wood Products, Harley Packaging, 80 Acres Urban Agriculture, Custom Veneers, Sealed Air, and Randall Miller Company. Since we didn't have a pause, let's give all these folks a hand. I was trying to keep it from falling off again.
I don't want to overlook one other important part, and then I will get out of here. I do thank you for your time and your patience today. Historically, EDCs look for industry, and they bring industry